Most of its Happening Out's anchors celebrated their Pride Month with a little bit of traveling, fun, music, and different kinds of parades. Fay and Kal were in Costa Rica, in San Jose. Jonathan was in that tiny little town.
That tiny little town.
New York City.
Right? And I was in the parade riding the float with Miss Colombia with about a bazillion LGBTQ plus Colombian stars for Medellin, and it's pronounced Medellin.
Thank you. I was trying to tell you before I set you off.
Yes, I was in Medellin for
And
Medellin Pride
So how did you
Festival.
learn how to say that?
Yeah.
Slowly.
What was in your mouth at the time?
Intentionally didn't work that way. It was the other way. All right. So we want to hear about what everybody's experiences were. So question 2, with a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. It seems like most of the cast was out of town recently. I, for one, am glad to be home. Oh, no.
I don't know about y'all. I was working the entire time. I had 2 jobs on the day of Pride in Stonewall Pride of Wilton Manor.
Isn't that cute?
I had-
Gen Z problem.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
Gotta pay my bills.
You gotta pay
make sure my
bills,
mortgage
girl.
is covered.
Right.
It's like
You and everybody else,
I
Cameron.
know.
well, you were out of town. Wilton Manors was sad, Al. All these little cute, hot twinks walk around just going, Daddy Al. Daddy Al. And you were nowhere. I mean, the tears coming down their faces.
Well, I saw a lot of that in Cuba.
Where?
Where? Oh my gosh!
Medellin.
Saw a lot of Cubans.
Boys crying in your presence.
So we did make an agreement though that how we say Bacardi is how moving forward. So your mayonnaise way has now been taken off the table
Right.
and is now
Way of saying Bacardi.
it's Bacardi.
Bacardi.
Okay.
Costa Rica was incredible. Okay, I had never been, and most people go to Jaco, most people go to the beach side. This was being in the city of San Jose, right?
In the valley.
In the valley, not the prettiest, but the people were amazing, and they were so welcoming, and the food was freaking delicious.
Wait, let's do a little quick check off. Did you go to the Opera House?
No,
Did you go to Arenal Volcano?
no,
Did you go and see the crocodiles in Manuel
fuck
Antonio?
no.
We have those.
What did
We have
you do
those
in
here.
Costa
Did you
Rica?
make 1.2 million, get
Friends.
people super
Yes,
happy?
I made 1.5 million people so
I'm
happy.
surprised your ass even came back. If
was-
I would go somewhere and there were 1.2 million fans in front of me, I'd be selling the house.
And she'd offer them all papers to come back.
Oh, that's what I said on stage, okay? That's what I said. I go, okay, I'm still learning my Spanish, so I'm looking for a novia. And I go, oh, wait a minute, my Spanish is still bad. I'm looking for a wife to go back to the U.S. Everybody.
Yeah.
K1 visa, K1
So then
visa.
security had to hold the girls off because they were coming backstage like, okay, let's go. I got my papers ready. Vamos, nos fuimos, pura vida. I was like,
That's great. You know, a lot of people might not know, Faye has learned, Costa Rica is the most literate country in the Western Hemisphere. Highest rate of literacy of educated population of the entire Western Hemisphere, including the United States,
Really?
including Canada.
Wow.
Most educated, and it's one of the oldest democracies in the Western Hemisphere. It's an incredible place. Incredible.
Well, the clubs were great. The gay community was amazing. Again, 1.2 million. But what was really drastically different was the amount of allies that were out. It was not 1.2 million LGBTQ. It was their allies, their family, their friends, and so many people with shirts. I'm proud of my son. I'm proud of this. I'm proud of that. And I was just like, oh, I loved it. It was just such a beautiful experience. It really was. I really hope I get to go back.
One last thing about Medellin and riding in the parade. We're going to show a lot of video of it. It's going to shock you. Not to be negative about American Pride festivals, but the stuff that we've gone through and talking about some of our prides here in South Florida and the clouds that DeSantis has put over our prides. I don't know the combination of seeing those things and being so fresh in Medellin, but I went to a community where trans was one of the principal themes, and I have never in my entire life never seen as much trans embracement as I saw in Medellin. The floats and the signs are done in pink, blue, and white to honor the trans community. The parade itself has like 50 flatbed trucks that are built into floats, and then in between them, they have like 3,000 people marching between them. In total, 90,000 people marched in the parade. And what was amazing is all of the flatbeds have a DJ, and lots of famous DJs too, where they're playing music, and the people walk along the sides of the floats and behind the floats and in front of the floats And so you hear music, the parade was 4 hours long. You hear music 100% of the time, and whether the music's in Spanish or it's American classics, everyone sings the entire time.
With no accent. Isn't that crazy, right? Like you go to a place like this and there's no Spanish accent. They're singing it like Gaga.
I hear Waiting for Tonight and 5,000 people singing it just around me. It was just an incredible.
But your work, the work that you got done does look good though.
Yeah. We're making a joke about what?
Oh, that.
I don't think it cost your money, Baba.
That was the joke.
A lot of fun. We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from sHappeningOut television network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.